Football is a game full of promise, but sometimes even the biggest signings can't live up to the hype. This season has seen some high-profile transfers fail to deliver, leaving clubs and fans frustrated. Whether it's due to poor performances, injuries, or struggles to adapt, these players have yet to make the impact everyone expected. With all the excitement that surrounded their arrivals, it's hard to ignore how far they've fallen short. Here's a look at the 7 signings this season that have truly underwhelmed. 7. Eddie Nketiah. After his summer move from Arsenal to Crystal Palace, Eddie Nketiah was expected to take his career to the next level by becoming the Eagles' main man up front. But so far, things haven't exactly gone according to plan. While Nketiah's sharp movement and work ethic remain commendable, his struggles in front of goal have left fans wondering if Palace overestimated his ability to lead the line. The 25-year-old forward has managed just a couple of goals in all competitions, failing to deliver the consistent finishing Palace need. His inability to convert clear-cut chances has been frustrating, especially in a team that often relies on clinical counter-attacks to secure points. To make matters worse, his link-up play with teammates has been underwhelming, leaving the attack looking disjointed at times. Of course, the season is far from over, and Nketiah has shown glimpses of his talent in flashes. However, his current form has left Palace fans questioning whether the £30 million investment was worth it. As the team continues to fight for mid-table success, Nketiah will need to step up and prove that he can be more than just a bit-part player in the Premier League. 6. Brereton Díaz. When Southampton snapped up Brereton Díaz, there was a genuine sense of optimism. The Chilean forward has been on fire in the Championship, with his goal-scoring exploits at Blackburn Rovers earning him rave reviews. The Premier League was supposed to be the next big step in his career, and Southampton were hoping to strike gold with a young, dynamic striker who could offer them something special in attack. However, things haven't gone according to plan. Despite showing flashes of his previous form, Brereton Díaz has been far from the prolific goalscorer Saints fans were expecting. For a player whose main selling point was his ability to find the back of the net, his lack of goals has been a major concern. His positioning and finishing have often been off, and he's struggled to make the same impact at a higher level of competition. The biggest frustration, though, has been his inconsistency. Some matches, he looks like he could be a game changer, causing problems for defenders with his pace and physicality. But in others, he's been largely invisible, failing to link up with his teammates or pose any real threat in front of goal. The lack of end product has led many to question whether he's truly cut out for the Premier League just yet. Southampton clearly saw the potential in Brereton Díaz, but as the season goes on, it's looking like his transition to the top flight will take longer than anticipated. 5. Niclas Füllkrug. West Ham made waves when they secured Niclas Füllkrug, but so far Füllkrug's stint in East London has been underwhelming. On the 5th of August 2024, Füllkrug joined West Ham United on a 4-year deal for a reported fee of £27 million. The excitement around his arrival was palpable, with many believing he could fill the gap left by West Ham's previous attacking struggles. Just days later, on August 17th, he made his debut as a substitute in a 2-1 loss to Aston Villa in the Premier League. While it wasn't the dream start he or the fans envisioned, it marked the beginning of what was hoped to be a fruitful partnership. The reality has been far from the hype. Füllkrug's adjustment to the Premier League has been rocky. He has struggled to consistently find the back of the net or impose himself in matches. His movement at times seems sluggish, and he's yet to fully sync with the team's play style. Compounding the issue is West Ham's tactical setup, which often relies on quick transitions that don't necessarily suit Füllkrug's strengths. There's still time for the 31-year-old to turn things around, but as it stands, Füllkrug's Premier League journey has been a frustrating start to what many hoped would be a stellar chapter in his career. 4. Raheem Sterling. Raheem Sterling to Arsenal? Now that raised some eyebrows. At 30, Sterling arrived on loan from Chelsea, looking for a fresh start after a rough patch at Stamford Bridge. Arsenal fans were cautiously optimistic. After all, this is a player with Premier League titles and a knack for big game moments. But so far, it's been a bit of a rollercoaster. Sterling hasn't exactly hit the ground running. Sure, he's shown those trademark bursts of pace and dazzling footwork, but the final product has been a bit hit or miss. There are games when he's brilliant, like when he set up a beauty in Arsenal's win against Tottenham, and then there are games where he fades into the background. It's been frustrating to watch at times, especially when you know what he's capable of. Part of the challenge is fitting into Arsenal's system. Mikel Arteta's side is all about intensity, quick passing, and discipline, and Sterling is still finding his groove. Plus, let's be real, competing for minutes with the likes of Bukayo Saka and Gabriel Martinelli is no small task. Those youngsters are on fire, and Sterling's experience alone isn't enough to guarantee him a spot. That said, it's not all doom and gloom. Sterling's still got plenty of time to make his mark. And with Arsenal juggling Premier League and European commitments, chances will come. If he can rediscover that killer instinct and bring some consistency to his game, he could still end the season as a valuable asset for the Gunners. For now, Arsenal fans are hoping for more from the man who's given defenders nightmares for years. 3. Federico Chiesa. When Federico Chiesa joined Liverpool, expectations were through the roof. Fans had visions of him tearing down the wings, scoring world-class goals and bringing back the glory days. Instead, it's been, well, underwhelming. Chiesa arrived with a massive reputation, but so far he hasn't lived up to the hype. His performances on the pitch have been inconsistent at best. The trademark flair and explosive speed we've seen in previous seasons seems to have vanished. It's as if he's playing with a weight on his shoulders, and his decision-making has been questionable more often than not. Liverpool fans, initially ecstatic about his signing, are now scratching their heads. Where's the Chiesa who dominated Serie A? Where's the player who showed up in big international tournaments? So far, he's only managed a handful of goals and assists, and even those have been forgettable. Of course, it's still early days, and Chiesa has the talent to turn things around, but as for now, he's been one of the season's biggest disappointments. Liverpool fans can only hope he finds his feet soon, because the patience is running thin, and the Premier League isn't exactly forgiving. 2. James Ward-Prowse. James Ward-Prowse's move to Nottingham Forest on loan from West Ham was one of the more interesting transfers of the summer. Everyone knows what Ward-Prowse brings to the table, that incredible ability to whip in a free kick from practically anywhere. But the question on everyone's mind was, could he bring that magic to a Forest side aiming to push on from their Premier League survival? Well, so far it's been a bit of a mixed bag. He's delivered a few tasty set pieces, no doubt. Those trademark corners and free kicks still have defenders shaking in their boots, but as much as the guy is known for those dead ball situations, Ward-Prowse hasn't really found his flow in open play. Forest's midfield moves at a pretty fast pace. He's not been bad by any means, he's just not been the game changer we thought he would be. We know he's capable of that spark, but he hasn't quite managed to break into the system of Forest's attacking style just yet. It's like watching a top chef in a new kitchen. It's taken a little while to get the recipe just right. Ward-Prowse definitely has time to prove himself, but right now his loan move to Forest feels like it's still in the oven, waiting for that perfect final touch. 1. João Félix. João Félix. Where do we even begin? The Portuguese forward, once heralded as one of Europe's brightest young stars, was supposed to bring a creative spark and flair to Chelsea's attack. A loan move from Atletico Madrid sounded like the perfect opportunity for Félix to showcase his talent in the Premier League. Instead, he's found himself in a season-long struggle to live up to the hype. The first issue? His inconsistency. Félix is a player who's capable of moments of brilliance, but those moments have been few and far between. In a league like the Premier League, where players are expected to perform week in, week out, a few flashes of magic just doesn't cut it. His first few appearances at Chelsea saw glimpses of what he's capable of, but as the season has gone on, he's failed to string together a series of strong performances. One game he'll look like he could be the next big thing. The next, he's virtually invisible. His biggest problem, though, is how he fits into Chelsea's system. At Atletico Madrid, he thrived under Diego Simeone's rigid and defensive setup, but Chelsea is a different beast entirely. They need someone who can be a consistent creative force in a team that's still trying to find its rhythm. Felix's style of play, while exciting, doesn't always get with what Chelsea needs. His decision-making, his link-up play, and his ability to get into dangerous areas have all been underwhelming so far. All of this, combined with his high-profile transfer fee, has made his time at Chelsea feel like a giant letdown. Felix still has plenty of time to prove he belongs at a top club, but right now, it's hard to see anything more than a very expensive loan spell that hasn't quite worked out. The 2024-25 season has certainly been full of surprises, and not all of them have been positive. While these signings have disappointed so far, football is unpredictable. Let's see if any of them can turn it around.